speed
As if
cranked
that's a
up.
limiting thing of me doing it.
This is the one where the AI was on the island, and then they were also down here. So
Oh,
there's
so this is the one that
you.
I got punched in the face.
Yeah. It's you, there's Chris, there's Adam, and this is Shuda? Oh, no, this is Alex. Okay. Oh yeah, Shuda's not in this one. Dirt. Yeah, this one was a pretty tough one. Wow, they were like shoved in the corner real good here.
Yeah, I thought they were a lot closer than they were.
It's a good thing that this guy didn't build up a bigger navy. Adam's kind of far from the shore. If Adam had been in your spot and you'd been inland, it might have gone differently.
Yeah.
I guess if Adam and Chris had switched places. The AI's both getting their fleets on right away.
I actually thought I was walling pretty aggressively.
Yeah.
How far forward I put him.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely helps. Kind of push him back just a wee bit.
I should have built that wall a little bit farther forward, because then I could have put a castle on the high ground instead of in a hole. Actually, I didn't even think I don't think I even got a castle over there because it was all sloped.
I didn't know where the AI was at this point. I didn't know they were this close. And then they start attacking this right after I get the wall up.
Yeah, I think they're probably hitting mine as well.
You would have had to build a castle up here.
And those fire ships are about to go behind and hit my farms. Which is really more annoying than anything else.
Yeah. It's not a super huge setback, but it is annoying. And then they were content to just sit right here and let me shoot them in the face repeatedly. The only thing that was really concerning here was they got a military out over here. Man, I wish I'd known how little of an army they had. They didn't have anything. They were building... They were just booming. I could have gone in with anything. It was entirely in ships. And their ships were just getting picked off one at a time. If I'd have just built archers and a couple swordsmen, I could have really hurt them. And you're already back to normal.
Look up at the top of my base. I see some green or some gray moving around. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You know what? It's probably fine. Don't worry about it.
Where? Oh, right here.
No, it was at the top of it. And then
Oh.
I just been scout wandering.
Yeah, I didn't see anything up here.
Because I was thinking that might have been the point where they sent their wall of archers into my base.
For this, you should have been focusing on the galleys because the fire ships have pierce armor, and it's not doing very much damage to shoot at them if you... Yeah, see? You got it.
It's partially because I didn't realize they were under attack. I should have sent villagers to repair that instead of building archers ranges.
He goes out and shoots at some stuff. I wonder if he's going to kill that archery range. You'd think that they would be focusing heavier on Navy instead of building archery ranges and barracks everywhere. So now they start getting a military out, but it's too late. The time has passed. Alex is already in castle. Already has got his castle up. I mean, your frontier's still pretty well defended. I mean, aside from the obvious, you know, the Navy problem, but...
Well, the problem is I was too focused on the Navy problem. So I think at this point I'm starting to build archers. Or at least a few of them.
Let's see, have I done anything relatively intelligent? I built a castle. That's good. I've got workers here sitting on their butts doing nothing. Alex is doing his trade, which is good. I don't think I've been smart enough to remember to do that yet. A castle right here would have probably been really nice. Ah, here comes the longboats. Come to put an end to all of the shenanigans over here.
I think they did destroy the tower at my farms. Not yet. That's later. Why are my archers going all the way up to the water? Because I know I told them to shoot at a boat.
They're probably trying to shoot. They're probably trying to shoot this galley.
Well, they're idiots. They have bows. They should shoot from afar, not from on top of it.
Yeah. What you probably should have started doing once their navy started being a problem is just, instead of continuing over here, just start doing all your resources over here. And just, like, relocate it inland.
Yeah, but that's expensive.
That's true. What, you shooting 2 arrows at a time? You garrison
Might be
people?
because I put the archers
Oh, you
down.
garrison them, yeah. I think this castle gets attacked before it can get finished. Yep. Get to 98% and then really start having problems. I should have pulled these workers, or some workers, to get them over here right away, instead of just wringing my hands and complaining. I get to fight two-handed swordsmen with level 1 spearmen. And then the longbowmen finally come out. So Alex's longbowmen were to me what Adam's longboats were for you.
Except Adam was too little too late. At some point in the not too distant future, Gray is going to come up with an army of archers. Plumed archers, specifically. It definitely wasn't long after I got my first castle up.
Yeah. Oh, he did build a castle right here.
Oh, I think I see some movement from Gray.
That's their workers.
That's pretty much what I've been sitting here watching for the whole time, though.
And at some point, Gosh, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 docks in this tiny little lake right here. That's exactly this big,
And really no reason for it,
right?
because they don't produce from all of them.
Nope. 7. 7 docks. Here's my compensation for not having murder holes. So I still have not built an army.
I'm singing pretty long.
Yep.
Go up.
It's like 5 or so. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's a lot of plumed archers. That's a lot of plumed archers. Those cheeky buggers, they don't even bother with any of this. They just come right around and get in your wood line.
Yep. And kill everybody.
Oh, they're already fully upgraded too. So you didn't register that they were here for how long?
I mean, I pushed the button today.
Yeah, but I mean they had like a good
No, I
30,
think
40 seconds.
I don't think it was that I didn't register it was there, it was that I didn't think I needed to send everybody to the town center.
Also, the plumed archers have really strong projectile resistance. Like, how much pierce armor do they have? They have a lot of pierce armor. I wonder if I can compare it to skirmishers. Yeah, they have the same kind of projectile resistance that skirmishers have. And I wonder if there's any Huskarls around.
Well, there's Adam's boats.
Yeah, look how well they're standing up even to massed fire from longbows.
Very little aside
You're a
from the
little
ones that are
quiet.
coming in. Currently, he's doing very little aside from thinning out the ones that are coming in.
Yeah.
Somehow my microphone wound up farther away from me than it normally is.
That's just so many plumed archers.
Now, what's my population right now?
31 out of 105.
And 20 of that is villagers.
Got some skirmishers.
Who will do absolutely nothing because there's like 4 of them. Actually, wait, these are the ones that draw everybody up into the boats.
I don't think I appreciated how scary plumed archers are. You needed to focus on the ones that were shooting at your skirmishers. Well, mostly did the job.
Until I realized that I still have guys in my base. I just send everybody right back in, but lose a bunch.
Yeah, but they're out of range.
Not to prevent me from having an economy.
Yeah. See, if you had, yeah, the skirmishers that you're about to produce would be enough to kill those archers.
No. Feel free to watch.
Well, no, not 2 at a time. 2 skirmishers can't beat 2 archers. You know what? Since the skirmishers, or since the plumed archers have the same pierce resistance as a skirmisher, skirmishers aren't as good of a counter against these guys as they are against other archers.
I thought the reason why skirmishers are good is because they're technically ranged melee.
No. Skirmishers are good against archers because they have high pierce armor. So they have 4 pierce armor. But the thing is, these guys have the same pierce armor. Unless I'm completely off my rocker, I'm pretty sure this is pierce armor right here. Well, and there's another battering ram. And more plumed archers. Holy, look at all that. That is obscene. Watching their base building never ceases to impress me. I realize there's a hole up here. Look at all this useless military they've got. They've got just champions just strolling around waiting to get annihilated by longboats. These guys are really expensive. Oh, I finally remember to do trading! Yay. Oh yeah, here comes the panic. They realized they couldn't get in through here, so they're like, hey look, there's a convenient hole right over here. I don't even know if that registered. The Skarls, they're the ones that have the 6 pierce armor, so they basically take almost no damage from longbows. Although, you know what? I might be reading this incorrectly. I think that the one of these is the modifier that you get from upgrades, but I don't know how to read it.
It's probably the second plus.
Yeah, those longbows really came in handy right here. All you gotta do is just have pikemen to kind of interrupt. Those long swordsmen would slaughter my pikemen, but the longbows, the second they stop to swing their sword, it's over. I don't know why they fell back there. I don't know why my pikemen, I'm probably not even focusing on this fight at all. I don't know what else I would be focusing on, but I'm focusing on something else.
I still haven't even gotten my villagers out of there. And I haven't made any resources recently. So, that's the hole I was in. Literally.
Yeah. Gosh, and then we haven't touched the middle at all. We haven't fortified it in any way, shape, or form, aside from a couple walls, but basically that's all just getting funneled into Chris, into you. Fortunately, Chris got those Teutonic Knights out, and they cause big problems. I wonder what he can see. So he has no idea that other castle's
Okay, I
there.
think
He just
this is the
missed it.
part where I get some units out to cut off what they're doing, and I get my villagers out.
So yeah, that's why plumed archers are so scary, because they have 8 range, longbowmen have 11. So a little bit shorter range, but actually I don't even know if these are fully upgraded. I want to say you can get 12 range out of them. Although I might be completely wrong. They have a little bit shorter range, but their pierced armor makes it so the longbowmen do almost no damage to them. So fighting plumed archers with other archer units is never going to win. Especially since these guys, they outrange you. Wow, these guys only have 4 range. That is no bueno. He never uses those rams against this wall, does he?
No.
Oh, yeah. That's a problem right there. Where's the blue fleet? Too far away. It's busy causing problems for the AI.
I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm abandoning that base, so. My villagers are out and on their way up to the top right corner, where I will build my actual empire that actually succeeds.
That is so many. I feel like at this point you should have focused on the boats and on anything that's not the plumed archers, because the plumed archers just do, or they take no damage from arrows.
I mean, I wasn't looking at this.
That's Fortunately, since the AI decided they were going to throw all their resources over here, we're able to slip the knife into the ribcage. Although that's not really saying much if the ribcage is attached to a rhinoceros, which this clearly is. Man. We thought we were doing so much better than we actually did. Like, look at all the stuff we're breaking. Look how far we're getting into their base. It's like, yeah, no. How about no? And I wonder at what point somebody builds a navy in here.
I think it was Adam.
I thought it was Tim. I threw all of my spearmen away fighting champions. Give Chris time to kill the town center. Thought this was a big deal.
Tim isn't in this game.
You're so right. Maybe I'm confusing on a different game.
For a second I was like, oh yeah, you're right, H1N1 is Tim, not Adam.
Nope.
I was like, wait a minute, no, H1N1 is Adam. We don't have a Tim.
Ah. The longboats are still alive, just that little bit of them got killed. I don't know if he's gonna get this built in time though for those ships.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, there's no way.
Well, if they attack from there though, he does get it up. And I have no idea why... Who is it that's playing purple?
Chris.
I have no idea why Chris was building all those siege workshops where he is, because it's a really bad place for him. And I told him that. He's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, okay. You say so.
And this is the problem with Teutonic Knights by themselves. You cannot harm archers. So yeah, we have this main problem over here. We thought we had this problem. I think this was me. Oh wait, no. I think this was me saying there's a hole in the gate. Alex, there's a hole. I think at this point, this side of the map is the most secure, and the big issue is going to be where all this is getting funneled to. Although I think at this point, we're pretty sure that Chris's Teutonic Knights and Castles are going to hold out against whatever shenanigans they try to bring out. They're really close to our trade line here.
Yeah, it's a good thing I can go after it, especially once I start trading, because that's how I even make a comeback. I don't know
why
how
he
much my
kept this
comeback
castle,
actually
though.
affected the game, but
So here, this is probably the decisive naval fight right here, because he knows where most of their fleet is, because it's all attacking his castle down here, or they're fighting Chris's castle up here. So do they have any other navy in the area, aside from what's right here? Doesn't look like it.
what's going on at the south end of your base?
Just the same stalemate. They basically sat back here and got killed by longbowmen and castles the entire game. This front, I don't think does anything the rest of the game. It stays pretty stable. And here's where I start throwing units into this gap right here, when we see that they can just go right through if they wish. They're just so good if the enemy decides they want to fight them and don't kite you forever. So I guess Adam's content to let them sit here and pelt this. How many resources are they expending? Oh wow, that's cruel. They just built right into your base. Notice the hole. I think this is where Adam finally kills their fleet. Getting back on your feet. So many plumed archers.
Yep, at this point I'm just focusing 100% on economy because it's not like I can do anything else. Yep. So, I get a bunch of people working wood, a bunch of people working food, and I'm going to get my trade up soon.
So Adam is just reaming freaking orange right now. I think that really helped turn the tide, because that means at this point they were fighting 2 players. So I wonder if Adam knows how much of a fleet he's fighting, or if he's trying to draw them into the castles. Because I'll wager he didn't know how many ships they actually had, and he was trying to just make sure he could fight them under the castles to hedge his bets. Because for all he knows, they just keep sending ships up more and more and more. So he's actually playing it really safe right now. So green has decided to basically redirect everything up here.
Look at green and gray's production queue though.
Yeah, they basically...
just dived off. I'm finally imperialing.
Oh, and that's gonna... That is such a strong defense. When my army that was holding the line here died, do I have a replacement yet? I do, almost. Have I sent one? I have not. So they get a few into our trade. These plumed archers are basically the theme of our ground combat this game.
Yep.
I don't know why Adam hasn't committed to this fight yet.
He has lost a lot of ships.
He's got way more than they do, and he's got 2 castles backing him up.
Yeah, but doesn't mean you can see it.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, they've been in Fog of War view for a while now. He was seeing them attacking here, he saw them up here, so... And he's basically exterminated Orange off this half of the map. And he really... It's in his interest to push this down anyways, because there's a whole bunch of stuff down here that he just can't hit.
Well, it looks like he is working on it, he's just being cautious about it.
I just wonder why he waited so long. Ah, here's the next wave. We're almost here. So yeah, they got in here a little bit, but it looks like they mostly got distracted by the castles. Do I finally figure it out? Are these Huskarls? Yes, they are. So we are sick and tired of dying to freaking plumed archers. Unfortunately, they're not exactly ideal to fight cavalry. At some point I start mixing in some gunpowder units too. Oh, so they're still expending resources to kill your buildings.
Barely.
Yeah. Still thinning them out for the Cavaliers to clean them up. The problem is there's just a never-ending amount of archers that are just randomly scattered everywhere, and they just kind of constantly do chip damage at you. Next fleet battle. That's gonna kind of suck. Lost your bombard cannon to a champion. The galleons actually do better against longbows than I thought. This is me not paying attention, letting my stuff get killed by hussars. Like, okay, I'll help you. Just get my army all killed as I run up towards the front lines. Basically
researching crop rotation, faster trade cards, and faster axe chopping.
all your economy. I wonder where Alex's military is. He's gotta have more than just these guys. Oh, he's repairing my castle. What a good friend. What a legend.
I think that was everything he had.
Does he just have one block of longbowmen? Here's a camp. really say much about that. I have, you know, one block of infantry as my army. I just have to keep rebuilding it over and over.
Oh, they finally start destroying all my houses and my population dips.
Yep. This whole fight down here is kind of just a mess of scattered fights. There's not all that much coordination going on. See, this is an army of Huskarls and skirmishers, and these plumed archers are still just an absolute. I got champions too. Champions are good for the Halberdiers, but there's just they're so scattered. There's not a single like block of anything. Slowly picked it apart. But I think the next wave is coming. Although maybe not. Maybe I haven't thought that far ahead. No, I built it. I just haven't sent it. I feel like things happen so much faster. I feel like the speed is somewhere in between the normal and the fast speed, because this is way faster. Not way faster, but this is faster than the fast speed that the game gives you.
Yeah, you are right.
These castles are positioned really well. They hit everything just as they're coming through here, and usually the AI will attack whatever it is that shoots them, or they won't take proper precautions to not die to them. Holy, how much range? Wow, okay. Got their castles have 13 range. That's almost as long as bombard cannon range. Speaking of bombard cannons, Adam is slowly, now that he's crushed their navy, he's going to slowly strangle Orange to death. White's never going to have the resources to oppose him. Okay, so Adam does build a longboat navy down here. This is a point where I knew we never had to worry about this front ever again. I still didn't know how much Adam had absolutely destroyed their stuff. So now basically we dance in the middle. Hey, I finally remembered I have an army that I can use to do things. Just however many stables this is to just make a stupid amount of cavaliers. I'm just always stuck with fighting the wrong thing. These are all for killing their plumed archers. But the plumed archers are all killing his cavaliers, and my guys are fighting freaking all the champions. Let's see, am I actually being proactive with the army that I'm building this time? Yes, yes I am. I'm actually building it at the same time. And am I actually building hand cannoneers? Yes, yes I am.
I think this game actually goes on for a lot longer still, because I think at the end I had 20 or 30 trade cards.
Probably.
It might not have been 20 or 30, but I know I had a lot.
Wow, Chris has deforested everything back here.
Yep.
Hey, I actually kept my army alive. Look at that! How much do we see? Not all that much. If I'd known that there was all this trade here, I probably would have pushed more aggressively. Are those the same siege workshops that have been queued for forever?
Uh-huh. The
Oh,
ones I was
excellent.
like,
No,
hey,
you?
you probably shouldn't build
This
those
is
there.
some absolute
We're recording a
bullshit.
video. That's a lot of focus firepower just to kill archers. You built a castle.
Yep, and it looks like I'm starting to produce units.
Yay. I've actually got a next wave in time for the next wave.
Oh wait, no, I was
Presenting.
looking at blue. I was like, yeah, I'm starting to produce units. I don't remember building those. So I was looking at your units, like, yeah, I'm producing units.
Yep.
At some point, I will start producing
Why are you just standing there, you impotence?
That's one thing I really don't like about Age of Empires AI compared to other games. You have a group of people and you tell them to attack somebody. If there's another person in range, the people who can see them will attack them, not the group. A lot of other... Well, I guess it's mostly because I played Dawn of War. I guess stuff like Command and Conquer would have been the same thing. Now that I think about it. Or it's only the units that would be able to see them that would move forward.
Man, these Huskarls really mess these guys up though if they get up next to them. They realize, oh no, let's not get killed by that. Let's please not get killed by that. And then I get killed by that a little bit. There's just so many workers back here that we just never really got around to killing.
Well, I'm getting everything upgraded now. So this is my teching up phase. And
So
after all
here's-
this time, you're plugging in the hole.
Yep. Well, it was a nice funnel. Unfortunately, now they're just going to go through here, I think. I don't remember if they do or not.
Yeah, probably.
So they just find the path of least resistance. Hey, the next wave's actually ready in time for the fight. And at some point I build stuff over here so I stop having to truck things all the way across. So they basically have exterminated this entire peninsula. Except for those guys that are very dedicated to breaking a wall. Good job, Dave, Bill.
Yeah, they never stop attacking it, and it's really annoying because I constantly have alerts that I'm under attack and I just
Yeah.
ignore them. Which is
So,
not good.
They've still got a pretty
It's a
decent
good thing they
fleet
never
down
attacked
here.
me.
They've still got probably... They've got maybe like 30 ships down here. A little less. That's enough to definitely give this fleet at least some pause. I think I leave these
I
guys
think
up
that
here.
particle effect going on in the middle of that field to the right. Right underneath.
I don't know. I saw this a couple times. It was like water, like people walking through
Is there a
water.
warp storm?
I guess so, or maybe Storm. I don't know. Are we playing StarCraft or Dawn of War?
Probably so. Playing both.
I love when the AI does stuff like this.
I'm producing more trade cards.
You have
Salam,
18
Ori.
workers sitting still.
Yeah, that's because they're too broke. I haven't reassigned them to the new tree yet.
gosh, and this front just never ever. Alex didn't lock his gate. I think these are the guys that are the mounted skirmishers, so they're technically good against archers. And by that I mean very technically, because they definitely don't show very much potential right here. Tell I actually started producing hand cannoneers by the way things fall over really fast all of a sudden every couple seconds or so. Another wave. Nope, they're back here. I suppose I should just look at the mini-map for that information. Speaking of mini-map, there's a lot less orange on here than there once was. The level of screwed that this AI is cannot be measured accurately.
Well, the funny thing is they've also gotten all of their trees, so...
Yep. They basically have no resources left, they have no buildings left. All they've got is an army that they can do nothing with. Gotta finally cut this off. Has he found this navy down here yet? It's a little... Actually, I have no idea. I wasn't paying attention to whether or not there was a fight down here. I think I still hadn't realized, although Adam might have said something by now that he had killed Orange. But it's very possible that I was not paying enough attention.
No, he hadn't killed Orange yet.
I mean, this is dead. He had,
yeah, but he hadn't mentioned them being dead. He may have mentioned that he had them under control, but...
That naval power, though, like... Even on a map like this, like, that's just so important because you can just basically define areas where the AI cannot come into. Or where your opponent, rather, not necessarily the AI.
I really think you're still idle. And you know what? I think the reason why I did that is because I determined that I had enough wood. So I was letting other people get it, and then eventually I changed my mind and they get more wood. But what I'm building is, in terms of units, is food and gold. So that's what I'm 100% focused on.
Yeah.
So I just need to have enough wood to make farms.
There was a nice little worker line, but I don't think we could have got in there. That one onager could take that choke point and kill like all of my army with it. Quick, kill it! Nope, there's another one. Kill that one too. I hate fighting these things because you have to go for them first. If you ignore them, they kill all of your army, and if they're supported to any amount, then you're basically banking on being able to do stupid things and still get away with keeping your army alive. Like charge into the middle of a whole bunch of infantry, or cavalry, with your infantry. Teutonic Castles really came in the clutch here. Their fire support, because this is not an army meant to fight champions. Constantly just this long line of units coming out of their base saying, hey, go kill them over there real fast. destroy the siege. I do wish that, like, it's really nice that we had all this fire support up here and that we're never able to, like, contest it, but I would have liked to have more longbowmen elsewhere. I feel like having longbowmen up here to fight these plumed archers would have been very helpful.
I feel like he could have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here is the last throwdown. It finally came out to play. This must have been what it was like for the Germans in World War I. Like, okay, fine, we gotta do something with our fleet, and then, oh crap, Jutland. Except, they're not doing nearly as well as the Germans did.
Franz, send the fleet. Commander, they have nothing but longboats. Our battleships are useless. Looks like I'm finally producing this.
Got trade cards, that's for sure. Look at all that. Look at all that.
Yeah. I mean, I have 23, 24 trade cards. I wish I could tell how much those trade cards are making. Actually, I can probably tell. It looks like it went up by 53.
You are...
Yeah, it's right now.
I don't know how the economy thing works. And then they all go to the next place. And they kill more of their own stuff with their own archers. Let's see, do I have a next wave to send in? I do. Yay! Ah, so there's a counterattack happening. Okay. I don't know if I ever sent any units to help here. Very bad, and then Alex handled it all on their own lonesome. I feel like they have enough. At least it's going to take some of the pressure. Actually, no, this is all gray.
I do know that I'm making enough with my economy to support the free stables producing. Are those paladins? What are they? What's the top level of paladin?
Paladin, yeah.
Left.
These are paladins, yeah. Unless you're wanting me to look someplace. Oh, right here.
Yeah, we're all minor gathering.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see them. They blend in with this light spot on the map.
Yeah, it just looked like a chunk of gold right there.
Basically, me and Chris plugged the front line with bodies for
The entire
a long
game.
time. Basically, you just gotta keep running in to kill those specifically. That's if there's only 2 of them. Look how many things they killed with just 2 of them. At some point we find this, and that was like the ultimate gold mine of civilian casualties. But I mean, again, this game is already all but over. Basically just a matter of time. Because these guys are dead. These guys are gonna be dead. And then if this front resolves itself, they have so many ships through. Ah, yes. Finally remembering that I can build in other people's bases to get close to the front lines. Alex sends some trebs. I think he has me break this wall because I'm pretty sure this is just palisades. Release the Kraken. But at least it gets green to start sending things other than this front. Next wave. And I tell Chris that in fact, yes, look, I have a brain. There's just nothing on the coast aside from like a couple places.
This is probably the actual turning point.
I mean, I would say that orange being effectively neutralized was the,
Well, I mean, that was one, but the land battle was effectively a stalemate until now.
let's see, what do we see? Do we see all their workers yet? Not yet. Oh, there's not nearly so many of them. They got out of there quick. So many of them got away. We never, I don't know if we ever stumbled on that. That's a shame. I should have realized that there was freaking lumber camps everywhere that we could have gone and looked at, but I guess there was a bunch over here too. Such a missed opportunity. There's just nothing over here anywhere. Ah, excellent tactical deployment of those trebuchets. So wow, they survive in this little pond here with the Navy for a lot longer than I had suspected. Alex really needs to mix in some other unit types with his longbowmen, because if they're not all agreeably trickling in one at a time. Oh, how did you get those guys over there? Did you have transports, or did you use Adams? That's the end of that. But yeah, this is where like their ability to start sending military to the front lines is really, really reduced. Although we fell back for some reason. I don't know why. We saw this too. I wonder why we never attacked it.
The funny thing is yellow never researched murder holes. And by yellow, I mean orange. Which I didn't realize. I ran away from the castle.
That many paladins would have killed the castle regardless.
Yeah, but I didn't want to waste them. I wanted them to be on the front. If there were cannon galleons, I could have dealt with it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Also, this is how fast my barracks can produce, by the way, when they're fully upgraded.
Nice.
Basically instant army. Although his barracks are also cranking them out real fast. think we've been both focused on cranking as many units as possible out for so long that when we finally got down to actual production, we could just spit armies out at will. Probably faster than the computer can at this point when they've been wrecked so badly. This is why you need melee troops, Alex. You're gonna lose monks that way. No.
He doesn't need melee troops, that's what he has friends for. You know, the ones that are on the opposite side of the map doing other things.
Although with the monks, you can, if they trickle at you nice and slow like this, any damage you take, the monks will basically instantly heal. I wonder why he never pushed with the, or hasn't pushed with his longbowmen yet. Or not with the longbows. Alright,
Or I could do is focus on other things.
Oh, this is where we noticed that they were finally chipping at this wall here. We were wondering if that was going to be an issue or not. And then I immediately start chipping through on the other side because I'm helpful like that.
Because we're all wood starved except for me.
Yep. Good place for all those units. Also a good place for all those units. This is kind of where you get to the weakness of infantry civs. Oh. Dead. And this is just so much attrition just over time, regardless of whether or not they're killing things. They're slowing things down, they're damaging things, they are picking things off, they're hurting buildings, they're hurting resources. It just adds to that extra load of things, because they haven't sent any military units up here for a while, and I don't know if they actually end up sending any military units. I know that Alex constantly is fighting stuff, so he's drawing off green, so there's just basically nothing to bring over to this fight at all. Because they've essentially been strangled to death, one side by longboats and the other side by longbowmen. Because for all of the criticism that I've said about Alex, he did, like, destroy probably a good third or maybe even half of the military that Green had at any one point. Because basically everything they sent to this wall died. There's the longboats.
That was him saying where you would drop off my units.
Ta-da-da!
Who I will now send down to be a part of the front line. I'm finally contributing.
You contributed by staying alive. See, these guys have 13 range. The Teutonic castles have 13 range. So Teutonic castles, if we play by that rule set again, we know Trebs, Teutonic castles are actually the way to go because they outrange, or they equal the range of bombard cannons. All that trade, do we see any of that trade? We have a little bit of an idea if there's trade there. You get that sweet, sweet revenge breaking their stuff that was breaking your stuff earlier.
Yep.
Another block of paladins. That's how you know it's over, when we have huge blocks of units that would have been like powerful armies earlier in the game, just sitting around just doing nothing. They still have woods that they have not managed to, forest yet. I think,
No, it looks like I'm in the
Green's
trade line now.
green's gonna
I
tap
don't
out
remember
soon.
if I attack it.
Get in the town centers.
Or if I just want everything else dead and don't really care about their trade.
Yeah, the trade at this point doesn't matter. They can make it a billion gold a second and it wouldn't make a difference. Oh, Adam's gonna... he's gonna take care of that. Yep. He's like, yeah, look! They have trade cards! It's gone. Still haven't remembered that I have units back here. That is so satisfying to watch.
I definitely did feel like I was more important in the final battle than I was, just because all of my units arrived for the breakthrough. So I felt like having all those paladins was the tipping point, which they definitely helped, but I think it would have gone that way either way.
Yeah, the paladins are really nice just because of the fact that paladins are very mobile and they do a lot of damage and they have a lot of health. All the things that you really like to see.
And this is the point where I'm actually going to take my revenge, because I wasn't upset with green.
Oh, they had a lot of those guys still. Holy cow. Yeah, but for all of how good they are against archers, they are worse against paladins and stuff than longbowmen are. And that was a very large army of wound archers that is no longer alive. So we're still breaking the player that's not here anymore. Still got armies sitting around. I think you are the only one that is actually attacking the player that's still playing. Yeah, and then the game ended.
Yeah, I was getting my revenge.
Yeah. So you knocked the player out of the game that almost knocked you out of the game. Yeah, but those... Like, actually, you know what? Because you were also over here to kill Orange, so you actually probably killed more people, like more players than me and Alex did, certainly.
Yeah, but you handled the armies.
I say, like, Chris probably killed a lot more units. I definitely lost a lot of units. Like, if we...
I mean, you can look at the stats.
Yeah. Where's me? Right here. Yeah, I lost a lot of units. Me and Chris both lost a lot of units.
But you also killed 918 to your 581 losses.
Just basically
Which he
threw
killed
units.
1450 to 427.
I got an even bigger army than the computers did. I still think that cavalry is better for the type of stuff that we were doing, although I think that my army was tanky enough to kind of give the castles and the other stuff a chance to do their work. Like up here, these two castles right here, sitting right here in this area, basically every time that I lost or started losing and fell back a little bit, then even if my army was all dead, when they came back up here, these castles just killed them all. I wish I had thought to do this way earlier than I did, because constantly, like, you know, seeing my army was dead and being like, oh crap, I need to send in another army, where is it at? Oh, it's over here, let me march them all the way across the map to this other place. It would have been more helpful, especially with the production that you get with the Goths, to have them up here better. But it's really crazy to see how much of the map is just completely flat, because everything's gone. Like, the AI does it really well, but we did a pretty darn good job of it ourselves, if you really think about it, there's not a whole lot left. The only woods that are on the map are the ones that are on the front lines that nobody's going to be pulling from anyways, but there's just not a whole heck of a lot left.
I like how the top of the map became my housing district.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I kind of took from Chris. I guess Alex is doing it too, but like just spamming houses everywhere when you need them and just flooding an area. Just get as much stuff out there as you can. But Adams definitely came in MVP for this game, just because those bombard cannons basically deleted this guy from the game, and they were well on their way to doing the exact same
Cannon
thing.
galleons, bombard cannons.
Whatever, you know what I mean.
Those guys are bombard cannons.
Yes. How long range do these guys have? 15 range? I think those might be longer than Trebs. I don't know if there's
Those
a Treb
are
on hand.
annoyingly long range, because every time I fight them, it's like, oh, they're
Trebs have
still
a bit
shooting
long-
that far.
Trebs have a bit longer range. Treb have freaking 17 range. Alright. Let's